Well, I'm glad there's still anybody here. I didn't really expect it, so I assume either you're really interested in that or your plane leaves pretty late today. So anyway, great that you're here. And I like to tell you a little bit about applications on the real-time web. So traditionally, as we know, the usage of the web was rather asynchronous. So there's people like this guy sitting around at home, playing games, doing whatever he wants. And the usage pattern is basically you consume, you maybe post a message, and then you consume again. And then you wait that something happens. So pretty much boring. Now what we see in the last years is that new services speed up the time between creation and consumption of content. The most known player, of course, is Twitter. So you write, distribute it, everybody can read it right away. Google reflected that by having the real-time search results in their listings. And now with the stream in Facebook, we see the same. So somebody does something, and in the next minute, you see it already. So there's another kind of service which is even presenting more real time. For one, it's like Google Hangouts. So you're sitting at home, but now you even see each other, and you can talk in the Google Hangouts together. Or abstractly, for instance, Shaker is a platform based on Facebook where you run around with the avatar and actually see and chat with other people. Or DJ Party or Club Kui, where you actually spend time together with people you didn't know before in a virtual environment where you have fun. So it's much more entertaining to do it together with other people. And so it's music that you start to consume together, it's videos, and it's real-time communication. So this direct interaction in real time leads to a certain set of new possibilities for application developers, but also new challenges. So the great thing, of course, is that you get a shared experience while being online. You experience something together. It, of course, is a whole new social aspect which we didn't have before because it's together in the now. And you get a direct interaction and reaction to whatever you do, which doesn't have a time delay and leads to certain problems I will show later on. And of course, it's a new way to consume media. It's, as I said, videos, music is more fun to consume together with others instead of watching the YouTube video by yourself, laughing by yourself, right? And the self-representation becomes even more important. I mean, if you have a hangout, you want to look properly sitting on in front of your computer. And in virtual environments, like the ones I showed before, you want to have a cool avatar. You want to have an alter ego, which is really interesting and attractive. On the other side, you also realize that there's a whole new challenges, because first, to have such an experience, all participants needs to be online at the same time, which, of course, is not the case at any time. And control, which is a very major issue, becomes much more difficult, and I will show later on how it can be solved. And of course, there's a whole new area of abuse and misuse if people react together in real time. Okay, what kind of mechanisms does that aspect require? First, you need to have a high level of stability and speed, because if this is not given, the whole user experience will be ruined. There's no room to accept delays. Also, exchanging media results in high traffic peaks, of course, because you have to distribute, like for instance, videos many times to each user who's consuming it. Therefore, the technical setup has to take all that into account. Very important, this is something we experience in Club CUI, are reporting tools. Because, I mean, people, don't really behave the way they should. It's like in real life, you have a lot of problems with certain people who can ruin the whole atmosphere and the image of the platform. So you need tools that everybody is able to report such problem makers anytime. And of course, there needs to be a reaction on that. And for instance, we use a lot of user-generated content. You need to be able to have these pieces all reported, because otherwise you have problems like infringement, which you don't want to have in your platform. Another important issue, and it's the flip side of the report tools, is since everybody is there in real time, you have to react, because otherwise the user thinks nothing happens, and therefore you need a 24-hour support system. We kind of solved that in our platform that, as I said, everything can be reported, and our moderators and supporters get an instant notification that there's a problem. They have the chance to take a look on what happened exactly, and according to our internal guidelines, are able to start certain reactions, from banning a user for a certain time or even totally out of the platform. And very important, of course, community management, which relates to the 24-hour reaction time. The community management needs to react in real time as well in order to solve the problems, and that requires a certain set of character for the community management, because it's like a neighborhood fight, which you have quite often. You don't really know who is right or who is wrong. You have to take care that the problem and the fight will get solved. And that requires from the community management that you have to have a stable character set, and probably also a certain age, because teenagers usually are not able to deal with these kind of situations. And that's it already. So, any questions?
I'm curious, it's not quite related to your talk, but we've seen a big swing in location-based services and people checking in, and when you think of real time, you think about hereabouts where I am. Do you see that moving into your space as well? But I'm here at this particular place and I want to talk in real time with people?
In regards to our application? Mm-hmm. Well, of course, I mean, like everybody wants to meet new people, and at the end, even if you start to get to know somebody in a virtual platform, sooner or later you want to meet these people. So we already experienced that our user groups have like parties and meetings to get to know each other in real time, in real life. And therefore, of course, the more users you have, and the more the probability is high enough that they are in one certain place, it would be interesting to show that like a certain avatar lives maybe just 2 streets from you, and you can meet in real life.
Do we have any other questions? Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great trip home.
Thank you.